Hello there. Welcome back to EBMN5. In this video, we want to look at a question paper of June 2024, and we are going to look at the paper one of June 2024. So we've got a question that we have here. We're going to start by looking at multiple choice questions. That is our question one, and we're going to look at 1.1, and that reads, various options are given as possible answers to the following questions. Choose the answer and write only the letter A to D next to the question number, that is 1.1.1 up to 1.1.10. On the answer sheet, the other sheet is attached, will be attached in the exam. So we are going to start by 1.1.1, which reads, management plays an important role in achieving the objectives of a business by performing the following functions. So we know that the functions that are performed by management include controlling, organizing, planning, and leadership. So if you look at our responses, you will see that D explains those functions. So we are going to have D as our answer at 1.1.1. Then you go to the next question, which is 1.1.2, and it reads, while facilitating a group discussion, there is an excessive talker in the group. The best way to deal with this denominator is to so we're given options that were given there. So we're going to go through everything. A, encourage the person to explain the reason behind his or her objection. B, talk to the person privately to find out how or she feels about the issue. C, interrupt the person and ask him or her to summarize. D, direct a question to the person and create a healthy dialogue. According to the responses that you are given, you'll see that the most polite way to deal with such a situation is to interrupt the person and ask him or her to summarize. Remember, this person is an excessive talker. So what we need to rectify there is to limit the time the talker is spending. So we should make sure that the talker has to summarize so that he or she shortens the period of talking. So we have C is our correct answer there. Then we can go to the next question. We go to 1.1.3, which is saying a financial plan will include the following items. So we might need also to know what we mean by a financial plan. So you see that a financial plan, it includes the company's sales forecast, cash flow projections, expected expenses, or even key financial metrics. So you'd see that this is the explanation that we have in terms of financial plan, but you can see that we can explain it from a dimension that it's a practice of putting together a plan for your future, specifically around how you will manage your finances and prepare for all of the potential costs and issues that may arise. So this is what we have in terms of the explanation of a financial plan. So our question is saying a financial plan will include the following items. So which are the components of a financial plan according to the responses that you are given is the question. So if you look at the responses that you are given, you'll see that D is the most appropriate, whereby you are saying a financial plan should include the budget and the liquidity and also the solvability. So we are going to take our D as the most appropriate answer that we have there. Then we go to 1.1.4. 1.1.4 reads, which one of the following is not a basic requirement for a quality control system? So we are given A, reducing setup times of equipment, B, determining the unit of measurement, C, establishing the desired level, D, defining what is to be measured. So if you go through the responses, you would see that A becomes the correct answer there, where it reads reducing setup times of equipment. Remember, they are saying which one of the following is not a basic requirement for a quality control system. So you see that determining the unit of measurement is a requirement, establishing the desired level is a requirement, defining what is to be used is a requirement. So A is out, so we can indicate our A as the answer there. So 1.1.5 reads, which one of the following is not a step to induct employees? So induction is done when the employee is starting to work at a business, at a workplace. So the question is saying which one of the following is not a step? So it means we are just going to pick the odd one out, which does not apply in the induction process. So if you go through the responses that we are given there, you are going to see that C is not applicable. Giving the employee a bonus is not applicable when during the induction process. A bonus can only be given when the employee has stayed some time and waited for a certain period in that workplace. So C becomes the answer that we have. Obviously, we are going to move into the next question. Let's try to move to the next page and see on 1.1.6. So if you come here, you'll see that this is our next question that we have, which is saying interest loss is accompanied by other credit costs like. So A, we have collection policy, B, discount for easy payments, C, credit standard of clients, D, follow-up costs. So according to the responses that you are given, you see that interest loss is accompanied by other credit costs like follow-up costs. So D is the correct answer that we have. Then 1.1.7 reads a credit report is used by. Usually, credit report is needed when you want to acquire some financial backings from financial institutions. So if you look at the responses that we have there, you will see that we have financial institutions at C. So C is the correct response that we have there. Then we go to 1.1.8 and read that the type of power used by a group of employees who force the employer to raise salaries. So we've got trade union power. Remember, trade union, they are not necessarily employees of a workplace. They can be just a representative from other workplaces. So we cannot consider that one. Subordinate power, yes, it's correct. Let's move on. We've got position power and consultative power. So you see that the correct answer that we have there is subordinate power. So we have got a B. Then we go to 1.1.9. Orders are placed as soon as quantities of inventory reaches a certain level. So 1.1.9, we know that this is the reorder point, and the explanation is explaining the reorder point. So I have got B as our correct answer. We go to number 10. Treating others the way you want to be treated is an example of the ethical standard test, and we know that this one is the golden rule. So what we would also need to know what actually do we mean by the golden rule. You know that this rule is sometimes called an ethics of reciprocity, meaning that you should reciprocate to others how you would like them to treat them. So you should reciprocate to others how you would like them to treat you. So this is a way of explaining that you should treat others the way you want to be treated. As an example, of this ethical standard test. So we are referring C as the most appropriate answer there, or the correct answer that we have on 1.1.10. So we have got C here. So we move on to the next section that we have according to this video. So we are going to the second part. So let's just try to see what we have. So moving on, you see that we are now moving on to 1.2, and 1.2 reads indicate whether the following statements are true or false by writing only true or false next to the question number. That is 1.2.1 up to 1.2.5 on the answer sheet. So 1.2.1 reads conceptual skills is the ability to apply techniques, problems, and ideas to create a better alternative. So you'd see that this explains conceptual skill. Because you should be able to apply techniques, problems, and ideas to create a better alternative. So which means this statement that we are having here is true. So we can just indicate our T. Then 1.2.2 reads uncertainty in demand forecasting refers to certainty in the demand from customers, which is false. It cannot be such a situation. So we can have false there. Then 1.2.3, an advantage of using technology is a greener environment with less wastages, which is actually correct because application of technology also is associated with the efficiency and is also associated with the betterment of the operations of a business environment. So a greener environment explains a better environment. So we are having true as our answer on 1.2.3. Then we go to 1.2.4. The executive summary inside the business plan is the same as the management plan of the business. So we may also need to know what we mean by business plan and what we mean by management plan. So we can just explain from the point of view of a management plan. We know that a management plan is a document that describes how to execute, monitor, and control a project, program, a business, or organization. In other words, we can also explain it from the dimension that it's a blueprint of the way your organization is run that is both day-to-day activities and over the long line. So this is what we have by a management plan. So you'll see that it with that explanation that we are given there, I would see that it's quite different from a business plan. So it means this statement that we are having there is relating a management plan and a business plan, which is not correct. So on 1.2.4, we are having our force is our answer there. So go to 1.2.5, it reads job generalization, sets out the type of qualifications the personal attributes a successful candidate should possess to do the job, which is also not correct. So we have false there on the last part there. Then we can as well move on to the next section, still on number 1. That is our paper 1. So let's just try to see what we have. Right, on the last part, we have got matching words. It reads, choose an item from column B that matches a description in column A. Write only the letter A to L next to the question number, that is 1.3.1 to 1.3.10 on the answer sheet attached. So we've got column A and column B. So you need to match and see which explanation is there and match a word that is given in column B. So the first one is widely used program for business plan presentation. And we know that this is the PowerPoint. So obviously, we are going to look for the PowerPoint in column B. So we have got E on the first part. Then the second part operates in the first creation. Operates in the first creation, and we know that the one that is operates in the first creation. Let's try to see is the leader. So we can just try to locate where we have leader there. We see we've got on H there is the leader. So we're going to let it with H. So we've got H here. Then next one is saying 1.3.3 social responsibility viewpoint that empowers the government to monitor businesses. So we can as well try to see a word that matches that. And I would see that this is the regulation imposed. So we've got F there as the correct answer. Then 1.3.4, when evaluating a management plan, this criterion is for personnel and human capital. So you can as well try to look there, which is the labor requirement, and CG is the appropriate answer there that we have. And then we got 1.3.5, which is the summary of all aspects to consider when drafting a long-term objectives. That's 1.3.5. You'd see that, let's try to see. It's obviously when you are drafting these objectives, they have to be smart. So we have got B, here smart, we are having it here. So we can just indicate our B there on 1.3.5. Then 1.3.6, an employee committing a serious offense can lead to. So you can just look for a consequence that can lead that you can get you into when you commit an offense at a workplace. So from the responses that we are given in the next column, let's just try to see any consequence that is listed there. So if you go up there, let's try to look down and see if you've got anything that is explaining any consequence there. We can go up. We are seeing you've got termination of employment, which is a consequence. So we can just relate it with C. Then 1.3.7 spells out what workers do and how they do it. Obviously, this is going to be the job description. So we can look for the job description. We are seeing it. We have it here, L. So L here. Then the 1.3.8 factor affecting the economic order quantity. Factor affecting the economic order quantity. Maybe we would like to know what we mean by economic order quantity. So economic order quantity, its way is the order quantity a company should make for its inventory given production costs, demand rates, and other variables are being taken into account. So we can just look for an appropriate answer according to the explanation that I've given there. Factor that can affect that. So if you go up there, let's try to see which one is the correct there. If you go up, you'll see that we have got carrying costs. Carrying costs also, remember carrying costs explains, carrying costs, they explain the total cost of holding inventory, which includes warehousing costs such as rent, utilities, and salaries. So this is what we have. So this is our D. So we can just indicate our D there and see if it really applies there. But you see that it applies, so you've got our D. Here at 1.3.8, then 1.3.9, estimating delivered terms of raw materials and finished products. Let's try to see. We are seeing that these are the fastest of production control. So I've got I here, and we'll indicate our I then. Then we go to the next one, provides for minimum conditions of service in a company and organization. So let's try to see which one is explained by this explanation. We have got the BCEA, which is the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. So we've got our A, which is here. So we can just relate it there with A. So we are having our A here. So this marks the end of our question and or marks the end of our paper 1 of June 2024. Remember, the question had 50 marks. So this is what we have, guys. Let's stay tuned for more videos to come as we prepare for exams. As for this video, I'm signing out, but we'll meet again in the next video.